Kamal Ravikant. Love yourself like your life depends on it. Throughout our lives, we experience love in many forms. We love our parents, children, spouses, and pets. We love our friends, and sometimes we love strangers. But how often do we love ourselves? Too often, when looking inward, we only focus on our flaws. We compare ourselves to others and feel lacking. We put ourselves last and wonder why we're not happy. But what if we could learn to love ourselves as if our lives depended on it? What if we could treat ourselves with the same respect and compassion that we show to those we love? Well, you can. It starts with a choice to forgive yourself for your mistakes, a choice to see yourself in a new light. Because when you learn to love yourself, everything else falls into place. If you think that sounds difficult, you're right, it takes effort. Kamal Ravikant, the author of Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It, understands the struggle because he has lived it himself. Nevertheless, his message is clear. Life-changing shifts are possible if you commit. It only takes a few special daily exercises to see that self-love is as natural as brushing your teeth. So let's get started. Section 1. Subconscious love can create magic. People typically view self-love as a selfish act. We are taught from a very young age that it's more important to put the needs of others before our own. But what if we looked at this from another angle? What if we assume self-love to be an act of self-care? Love is one of the most powerful emotions we can experience. It can make us feel happy, content, and safe. So why don't we love ourselves? For starters, years of negative thinking. Thoughts that keep repeating themselves until we become trapped in a mental loop. Our thoughts are constantly changing, like rivers flowing through the landscape of our lives, and like water, our thoughts can carve deep grooves over time. So if we want to change our lives, we must first change the shape of our thoughts. We can achieve this by flooding our guilt groove with rivers of self-love and oceans of compassion. Only then can we see the world and ourselves in a new light. Self-love is an act of defiance against all of the negative messages surrounding us. It declares, "I am enough and worthy of love." When we love ourselves, we make it easier for others to love us. We lay the groundwork for future happiness and fulfillment. The first step to self-love is creating a new mental loop. When you repeat, "I love myself," you start to see that you deserve happiness. As you do so, light enters your life. The more light you have in your life, the more you will realize how valuable you are. Be kind to yourself and persevere. You'll notice your mind becoming more peaceful, clear, and connected to who you truly are. So devote yourself and be patient. Keep repeating, "I love myself," until self-love becomes a single-minded obsession. The mind and the body will react automatically. They have no choice. So the more you love yourself, your thoughts will reflect that praise. It's a beautiful cycle. The more love you give to yourself, the more you have to give. Easier said than done, though, right? Don't worry. In the following few sections, we'll look at how to love yourself step by step. First, we need to build a strong foundation. This means forgiving yourself for any past mistakes. Section 2. Self-forgiveness leads to joy. Everyone makes mistakes. It's part of being human. What separates the successful from the unsuccessful is what they do next. Do they wallow in self-pity? Or do they forgive themselves, learn from their mistakes, and move on? The latter is a far more productive approach. A big part of loving yourself is accepting yourself for who you are. You can move on by learning to forgive yourself for your mistakes. So stop comparing yourself to others and start appreciating your unique talents and qualities. Stop berating yourself and start praising yourself for your accomplishments. When you let go of the guilt and shame that comes with your mistakes, you open yourselves up to happiness. If you are in this downward spiral, it's time to forgive and free yourself from the past. But how exactly? First, go somewhere you can be alone without interruption. You need to give your full attention to the task at hand. Next, write down everything you hold against yourself on a piece of paper. Get it all out, no holds barred. Let go of any pent-up emotions that are weighing you down. After you have unburdened your soul, take a step back and look at your mistakes with fresh eyes. Recognize your mistakes for what they are. Mistakes. They don't define you. Then, when you're ready, release them. Burn the paper, rip it into tiny pieces and toss it away. You'll feel lighter and more liberated, ready to start again. You're now ready to commit to long-term change. Section 3. Make a vow and take charge of your life. When someone says they are making a vow, they are not messing around. They are willing to put their money where their mouth is and see whatever they have promised through to the end. You see, making a vow is like branding your soul. It's a powerful statement showing you are serious about taking ownership of your journey and making positive changes. Whether working out 3 times a week or vowing never to smoke again, each commitment can improve our lives. And when we keep those commitments, our self-confidence soars. So if you are ready to make a change, start by making a vow to love yourself. Then make it again and again. Once you have forgiven yourself, take a pen and paper and make a solemn oath to love yourself unconditionally. Read your pledge aloud several times and let the words sink in. Keep the paper where you can see it or bring a snapshot with you. Then say your vows aloud daily, ideally while taking 10 deep breaths. Doing so will help you get into a rhythm of self-love. As you practice, you'll notice that you naturally shift from a place of self-judgment to one of self-love. In addition, you will notice dramatic improvements as you introduce this into your daily life. If you can forgive, you are well on your way to becoming your best self. If you make a vow, there is no turning back. Now is the time to clear your mind and declutter your thoughts. So let us move on to the next section, meditation. Section 4. Create a ritual to establish a powerful new habit. You don't think about tying your shoelaces or brushing your teeth. You just do it. That is the power of rituals. They create habits. Over time, those habits become part of who you are, part of your identity. No matter how much we might wish it were otherwise, our old patterns have a powerful hold on us. They are like Velcro, clinging to us even when we try to tear them off. The good news is that with a little focus and effort, we can replace bad habits with new, healthier rituals. When it comes to self-love, there are no hard and fast rules. The key is to figure out what works for you and stick to it. However, meditation and making time for a regular self-love ritual can be life-changing. The more you practice, the more it will become second nature. Then you develop a new, healthier identity. Try starting your day with a 7-minute meditation. Find a piece of music that puts you in a good mood and close your eyes. Imagine and feel light enter from above with each inhale. Then release with the exhale. Continue until the music ends. That's all there is to it. Well, nearly. You've almost got the hang of this life-changing magic. The last step is to show gratitude. After all, if we're experiencing such positive changes, the least we can do is show some appreciation. A great way to do this is by saying, I love myself, with the in-breath, and thank you, with the out-breath. This spreads positive energy throughout your body and allows us to appreciate all the good in our lives. Thanking yourself opens up even more magical possibilities. It's like saying to the universe, I'm open and receptive to all the good that's coming my way. Make meditation a daily habit by listening to the same piece of music every day. Allow it to be an anchor around which your life revolves. If possible, avoid listening to the same music outside of meditation to keep it unique and sacred to the practice. As time goes on, it's easy to become complacent and let rituals slide. To keep going, keep track of your progress and hold yourself accountable. Check off the parts of the self-love ritual you have completed at the end of each day. Section 5. Love eliminates doubt and opens doors. The eyes, as the old saying goes, are the window to the soul. Do you see a beautiful and powerful person, or one who is flawed and undeserving? Everybody has days when they don't feel good about themselves. It can be tough to see oneself objectively. Nevertheless, it only takes a few minutes in front of the mirror to help us see things differently. I know, it sounds strange. This is, however, tried and tested. Stand in front of a mirror and look directly into your eyes. Notice your own beauty and power. Now try this simple exercise. Stare at yourself in the mirror for 5 minutes and say your affirmation, "I love myself." It may feel awkward or embarrassing at first, but stick with it. Look right into your eyes, mind. No wandering or staring straight through. After a few repetitions, add emotion by saying the phrase aloud or whispering it if it feels too much. For these 5 minutes, the goal is to focus on loving yourself physically and viscerally. And if feelings of self-doubt arise, let them go and refocus on the task at hand. Love shrinks and disappears when we criticize ourselves. However, when we love ourselves, we grow stronger. So stand in front of a mirror today and say, "I love myself." If you do this daily, your negative thoughts will give way to love. It sounds simple, but it's actually very powerful. When we say these words aloud with our gaze, we anchor our love to our physical selves. We are telling ourselves that no matter what, we are still worthy of love and respect. As a result, we begin to see ourselves in a more positive light. We create a new mental loop. Now, take 10 deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Repeat after me. I love myself. No, I mean it this time. Picture yourself surrounded by people who love and support you. Now, repeat it with feeling. I love myself. Good. Now do it 10 more times. You might think, this is ridiculous. I don't need to love myself. I know that I'm great just as I am. Hear me out. Focus builds momentum. When we dwell on our fears and doubts, they grow. When we concentrate on our capacity to love and be loved, we open up a whole new world of possibilities. So spend a few minutes looking into your eyes in the mirror every day. It doesn't have to be a big production, just 10 deep breaths and a simple affirmation can make all the difference. Final summary. You've just listened to Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It by Kamal Ravikant. Here are some final thoughts. Learning to love yourself is a worthwhile journey. Take each step one at a time, but do so with love, not fear. Speak to yourself as you would to a loved one, and this new habit will become second nature. Remember that your most important relationship is with yourself. You are a magical being who deserves everything good. Life loves you. It is time to forgive yourself, make your vow, and perform the ritual. Thanks so much for listening, and if you can, please leave us a rating. We always appreciate your feedback.